Hey there, people.
Hey,
Um,
hey.
so we're gonna play a little intro music here real quick, and we're not gonna put any video to it yet because we want to make sure we don't get copyrighted, so we don't want to waste the time. So this is something my kid put together, so enjoy. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah,
Is that like that? That's that Fox. It used to
yeah,
be like, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So just a little underlying. I could have made it louder, but whatever. But I have it set at a certain volume for the background music, so I could have, but I don't know, kind of fun. Kid's talented, so I had him put it. I had him. This is like the seventh thing I had him put together because I kept saying no, I don't like it. Do it over. So I'm like,
So if that would have been an intro, we come
yeah,
in. This is Jermaine.
yeah. This is Rich.
Welcome to football. I got my brand new shiny football head.
Ooh, that's you're very milk duddy. That's good.
Milk Duddish.
Yes. So, we had football,
As
and
promised, here we
yeah.
are on Tuesday to recap what you just saw happen in front of you with the completion of Monday night. And the NFL is an unpredictable, wonderful machine, isn't it? It's just like to the point where after what happened last night, I got a bunch of texts, people saying it was rigged, the game is rigged, and all. Hey, I don't know. Some of it could be rigged, some of it's not. Whatever. They come up with good storylines, and if it's a quote unquote male soap opera, then keep it coming. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody definitely wrote in, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, tear your fucking Achilles." That's good. On purpose.
Yeah.
Like,
And
people.
The Jets walk-off touchdown was rigged. It's like, really? Okay. Man,
You know what's crazy?
Y'all got some great ass actors, and nobody's gonna leak the story. It's hundreds and hundreds of players have went along. Don't you think they want to expose the NFL and write a book because their career wasn't successful? They don't have nothing to write. Like,
I'm gonna tell you a story. Tiffany yells at me a lot when I bake in the oven and I don't use tin foil. Here's my thing. I told her it's very, very hard to find tin foil in the stores because everyone uses them for hats. So just please stop. Can we just stop with this whole, oh, well, it's the storyline. It's written.
Is there a certain group of players that are in on this big scheme and they all...
it's the Illuminati, obviously.
Yeah, and they all agree to this secret society, like you said, Illuminati, that they're never gonna tell this secret that everything is rigged. Like,
oh yeah, so it's Aaron Rodgers, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes is involved.
Oh yeah, Patty Mahomes. They're Dalton Kincaid. He just got his application approved. They all go into a forest and circle jerk each other and write down a script.
Yeah,
it's like, shut the fuck up, people.
Yeah,
golly.
They even got a commercial now with Key and Peele.
Yeah,
Key. It's almost similar to this. Like it's an NFL commercial where they sit around a table and they're like, "Hey, we can't make this stuff up," and they even come up with goofy ideas to make happen in the season. Like you're going to see it as the season play on, just to make fun of those same people that say the shit is rigged.
Here's the thing I've never understood about those people. We're talking about a game. Like there's literally a movie called Any Given Sunday. This game is a game, and all these people are the best athletes in their profession in the world.
And the game in its parody. I mean, on any given Sunday, if the ball doesn't bounce your way, or if you come to the game lethargic and don't give it your all, you can have your ass handed to you.
There's
These
53
men are
people.
feeding their children the same way you're feeding yours by going out there and performing. And if you show up that day and the coaches call the wrong plays or you make a mistake and fumble the ball, it could be one turnover that determine the outcome of a game. It just happens like that.
Every sport, and maybe not every sport, but sports to me feel like just a giant elongated game of rock, paper, scissors. I mean, you think about it, it's like
concepts and yeah,
like I need to outsmart you before you outsmart me. And yes, exactly like you said, look at Thursday night's game. That pass to Tony, perfect pass, pick six. Do you think Tony did that on purpose? Mahomes would have him shot.
Yes. And as Tony was running his route, he gave the defender a pointer like, hey, man, stand over there because that's
right.
Come after I drop it. Like,
right. The people that think that are the rabid fans that can't handle their team losing, or they are sports bettors. They're like, see, I knew it. They were going to. So if you knew it, why didn't you fucking bet the other way?
I mean, in that chat that people were screaming all this is rigged. They came a half yard from Josh Allen, I guess, getting their parlay. I guess he was supposed to score 39 and a half yards or rush for it. He only rushed for 39. So this motherfucker lost by a half a yard. So he's that pissed that it's somehow rigged. That's like
because they knew
by 0.28 points, and then you say the whole league is rigged. Like you lost, accept it. Right?
I'm sure Josh Allen is looking at the DraftKings prop bets and like, I'm gonna fuck everybody. Like he's counting, cunt hairs of yards. Just stop talking. Just stop it. Enough.
I think if anything could be rigged, it would be through the officials or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, in basketball or something, there might be an official to call certain flags to kind of change the outcome, but there's not this big group of people that's all involved. I mean, like.
And if that was the case, you were damn right about them being amazing actors. It's like your flop that didn't look like a flop that was a flop. Holy flop.
And then
what?
If I am a referee and the NFL pushed me to the side and told me do this and don't tell. Out of all those people they told, you don't think one of them would spill the beans and get paid? They would write a book. They would become famous for ratting out the NFL. Like. Or do they get killed? Is the NFL out there sending people to get killed?
Oh yeah, of course.
To hush him up.
Ray Lewis. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, you really, honest to God, think about it. You got people, and we'll kind of end on this, and we'll actually get what we're supposed to be doing.
Subject is dead.
But
go ahead.
It's one of those things where you think the NFL is eating ramen on purpose or not on purpose. No, they are not worried about, oh, well, if we make this thing happen, we're going to make a boatload of money. It's like you make money hand over fist in spite of yourselves. So
and the people the first people that's screaming, the people that's screaming rigged is the first person that's in that DraftKings making another bet or front and center in front of the TV the very next week talk about it's rigged.
It's like, if you know it's rigged, then why don't you bet opposite what you would have bet there, friend? If you do reverse psychology yourself. I don't know. Generally speaking, and this is kind of what we'll end on, people are fucking dumb. So,
so like as promised.
Yep.
Games went by.
Games did happen, sir.
Okay. Real life NFL. Independent of fantasy.
Yep.
There was some truly crazy outcomes. Let's start right here in Pittsburgh. Got blown.
That wasn't crazy. That was expected. I called that from a mile of fucking away.
I didn't think they was gonna get beat that bad. Come on, man. I didn't see that one.
I did not see it being anywhere close.
On the text you said, I see them losing by a minimum of 7.
Yeah.
Not 30-7, not 23 points. Like another game. the Browns
Yeah.
beating the Bengals. I mean, I understand any given Sunday, but it was a dominant performance. Like,
There is a common outcome when and it's actually funny because I was listening to a podcast and they said every quarterback that got the bag this year in the offseason shit their pants.
they lost.
Yeah. So you think of
No,
Geno?
not Lamar. Lamar got the bag this offseason. They won, but they played against the Texans. But
Yeah, but he didn't play. Like, what did he really
no,
contribute?
he didn't play. It was like a bunch of field. Like, he didn't play
Right.
exceptionally well or anything.
Yeah, but like generally, like the quarterback play of those players, and that's the thing. Normally, for, first few weeks, meh. But I found it funny that the ones that got the bag were kind of extraordinarily poor. Which,
Shitty.
look at that pun. But yeah,
Extraordinarily poor.
Yeah, I didn't even mean for that to happen. That was a beautiful organic thing.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I mean it's week 1. So before we go any further, whether it be team wise or fantasy wise, I will tell you this one thing. And I told my kid this is probably the most important show we're going to do all year about football. Don't panic.
Remember, we said we're going to have the segments, and there's the overreaction, and then there's the, I guess, underreaction, and we're going to have a segment where that is the basis of my conversation this evening is going to be
Breathe.
overreactions to what happened in week 1. I'm just going to let you know right now that the waiver wire is going to be its busiest and most robust in these first 4 weeks that it's going to be all year. Because after the 4th week, everybody starts taking shape and mold. And you're not going to, the only thing you're going to catch on that wire is buy replacements or an injury that creates, a hot player that's on the wire. But right now, especially after this fucking week, it's a fire sale. This week is almost like a compensatory.
It's a liquidation.
It's almost like a redraft.
Yeah, it's a liquidation of assets. That's kind of what it's going to look like.
People are going to overreact to the scores of those games. People are going to overreact to injuries, Aaron Rodgers, and people that went down for the year. There are going to be so many players on that wire that people gave up on too quickly. And my strategy is insidious. It's lie in wait with deceitful intent. Wait for people to make all the fucking mistakes. Don't touch my roster. And then it's a fire sale. I'm going to be like, it's fucking Grove City. And those of you that are familiar with Grove City, those are outlets of cheap products and bags and goods. And that's what I'm going to do. I am not putting in a waiver for anybody or anything, especially in our league.
Remember,
in the other league, I may do it, but it's a fire sale.
Well, just remember, you're behind me. So have fun.
Yeah, I'm like last because I picked second. So the waiver flip-flops the other way. So I'm like 11th. No, I'm like 9th on the waiver.
There's only 10 teams. You're 11th and shit. Okay.
Yeah. I forgot it's only 10 this year. I mean, I'm so used to it being 12.
Yeah,
it's only 10. But
that is the biggest thing. Don't panic. For the filthy casuals and the veterans, you will all do the same thing. I don't care how tenured you are. You're going to want to panic. Now, the casuals, they're going to go and just start dropping randoms and picking up the new hotness. No, there's going to be somebody out there that is going to burn their number one priority on Josh Kelly. Bet.
I know, because they said Eckler's having a little ankle issue.
You want to have a DraftKings bet? There's your bet. Bet that, but bet the over on that. He has an ankle injury, and it was interesting because I do have Eckler was my number one pick, and I'm sitting here watching Reds, and I'm like, yo, why is this motherfucker? Why am I getting so many doses of Josh Kelly? Get 25 off.
They start peppering them in at the end.
Yes, get 25 off the fucking board. What are we doing? Because I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the fucking number is Eckler? I couldn't even remember because I didn't see his ass for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit of an ankle tweak. They're gonna monitor it, see what's going on. There's a lot of hammies. We got Deontay, we got Aaron Jones, Dulcich up in Denver. And you got a hammy too.
And that's another thing about fantasy that you out there that we may be educating or even providing tips to. Injuries doesn't necessarily only affect just that player. It's the players around them, especially quarterbacks. So a guy like Aaron Rodgers going down, it does change the value of some of the pieces around him.
I feel so bad, and by bad, I mean I don't care, for the folks that drafted, God, what's his name?
Garrett Wilson or
Wilson, yeah, like they put so much equity, and then also you feel bad about like Lazard and Cobb, like, hey, we'll follow you. It's like
they came over there as part of a package with Aaron, and he's now irrelevant. And
but you know what though? That's what you get for putting all your eggs in one basket. And Tiff's a diabolical cunt. She's just like, because she was a Green Bay fan.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. She knows nothing about football, but whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, good. She literally said before they even played, because she was flying back on Monday, she was like, I bet he gets hurt and it's gonna be karma. I'm like, fuck is wrong with you, Babe Ruth? Golly. And she was like, good. So he fucking gets when you sign a lifetime contract. I'm sitting there trying to explain to her that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Contracts in every sport is like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say this. It's going to bring fans in, which is then going to pay my contract. And everyone's going to be happy. And then I'm probably going to fuck off and we're all going to be set. Now, Aaron, his career's done. Like, there's no coming back from that. He is too old. You don't come back from Achilles. Sorry. You know, that's not.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins got hurt so many times. I'm leaning towards his career is over.
Yeah, this is his last year of his rookie contract. So you mean to tell me you're going to have an ACL last year and then an Achilles this year, and you expect someone to give you a contract?
If he do come back, somebody is going to sign him for 4 bags of hot fries and maybe a burger from the South Side, because that's about all he's going to be worth at that point. And
it's a shame, man, because you did say there's going to be an Achilles this year or this week, and there was 2. And there was a lineman, I think, for the Browns that tore his ACL and MCL.
Conklin.
There it is.
Something Conklin, Jake Conklin.
Yeah, it's one of those weird
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was just a lot of injuries, and it kind of makes me think, how important is the preseason? You know, because soft tissue issues, that feels like conditioning and stretching and getting your body ready. An ACL, that's a freak accident, but like a hammy, I don't know, man. That kind of feels like it falls under the conditioning.
A lot of those soft tissue issues or injuries, it would be similar to going into the gym, not warming up, not stretching,
right?
Jumping straight onto the bus and putting on heavy weights, and you're gonna tear something because you didn't stretch out and condition. And like you said, people kept screaming for the past 10 years how irrelevant the preseason is. Now we're starting to see the relevancy of it. You might not, the fan doesn't get anything out of it, but the players need it.
Right, which by proxy affects the fans because now look at the Jets. It's like, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of people coming to see Zach Wilson chuck a fucking interception. That's gonna be great. They're not gonna go. Like they're gonna go, but they're not gonna go. Like their attendance is not gonna be anything near.
I seen something on Sleeper today that was like Colin Kaepernick's team reached out to the Jets, and it's like they really banned this dude. Like nobody like. It doesn't. Colin Kaepernick's like that little child in the elementary room that has their hand up to ask a question, and the teacher just keeps skipping over him. Like, anybody got any questions? And he's just sitting there with his hand up.
I mean,
and nobody's answering them.
Well, here's the thing. At this point, would you put someone in there that hasn't taken a snap in 7 years or somebody's backup?
Over Zach Wilson, yes, I would give it a try. That motherfucker looked horrible last night.
Yes, but what I'm saying, I'm saying for the Jets, wouldn't it make more sense for you to pursue somebody's backup than just go to someone that hasn't made a snap in 7 years? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Zach Wilson is not the answer. Okay,
you revved up your fan base by bringing in Aaron Rodgers and put butts in the seats. Even though the Colin Kaepernick baggage, so to speak, is going to carry a negative connotation, people like to see train wrecks. So,
well, they already have one.
You're going to put more butts in the seats just for people to say, let's see what the fuck he's got after this long of a layoff. I mean, and it doesn't cost you anything. You don't got to pay Kaepernick a ton of fucking money. You paying Aaron Rodgers all this money, gave up all these draft picks, and then I seen even Green Bay lost out on a first round draft pick because they traded him with the intent that he was going to play at least half the season. So now they lose a draft pick. So not only is Aaron fucking the Jets, he on the side fucking the Packers still, his baby's mom. So he's
he's doing he's finger banging he's finger banging the Packers.
His baby's mom behind the back and
oh golly,
he's the shit out of the New York organization.
Oh, that's a fun story.
So
all right, let's get into the fantasy. Let's get into our personal fantasy thing. So
okay,
I lost, and I'm going to tell you a very, very interesting stat. So, as everyone saw how batshit bonkers crazy, and by the way, fuck Tutu Atwell because he was literally about to be added, and I didn't.
Him and this Puka Nuka. Who the fuck is this dude? But Tutu Atwell,
God bless you,
definitely pissed me off because me and you just made jokes about it like it was funny. Meanwhile, this dude was hella productive
and
more productive than Van Jefferson.
Sunday morning, he was about to be added. he was like, it was. I went to add player and I was looking for someone to drop and I'm like, don't do it, man. Just it's not. And then I play.
I've done that so many times where I looked at a player and the decision came because I didn't want to drop the player I was picking him up for. And like you said, you look at it and you about to hit that plus button. You even hit the plus button, but when they ask you to confirm and submit, you get cold feet. I've not picked up many a player by saying I don't want someone else to pick up such said player, and then they have a monster season. I.e., your dumbass when Cordell Patterson was the fantasy cheat code. That happened in this exact same instance where he didn't produce that first week. I let him go. Fire fucking sale, which is about to occur tomorrow. I suggest everyone scan every fantasy league you have. Scan that waiver wire because you're going to see some very interesting names, and you're going to be like, damn, he's sitting there for $1.99? It's like a sale. It's a sale. These people have drafted these people in their drafts, maybe even high. They didn't produce, so now they gave up on them, and you got a Cordell Patterson fantasy cheat code that somebody else is going to pick. So yeah, Tutu Atwell, I was upset myself.
And then I played against him, by the way, which made it even worse.
Let's call that the Jerick McKinnon effect. That's why I'm holding on to him right now. Like, you will not burn me.
So here's the very interesting stat. Everyone saw how crazy Tua and Tyreek went. Okay.
And you, during our draft, when I drafted Tua, you was like, fucking Tua? I was like, I don't know. I didn't know he was going to drop 77, but goddamn.
Well, here's the very interesting part. I lost against the player that scored the most points in the league. And he did not have Tua. He did not have Tyreek. and he did not have Kelsey. So found that very interesting that somehow
you lost to a player that had the least amount of points in the league.
No, he had the most, and he did not have Tua. He did not have Tyreek.
He did not have none of those monster players. He just beat you with a little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, I wouldn't say a little bit. I mean, it didn't help that Drake London dropped me a goose.
You said, when I seen that, I was like, man, you definitely. I immediately thought of you because you're like the only person in this offseason that really voiced their displeasure with Drake London, and he produced exactly the way that you assumed. Well, you assumed to produce a little bit more than a 0.
Yeah, and the crazy thing
you is, trotted him out there if you expected anything. If you expected anything, like that.
I will say I had to put him out there just from the draft equity, so I couldn't not do that. But what's interesting is he played 90% of snaps, and now, mind you, they only threw 18 balls, 4 to Pitts, 4 to London falling over there, and wherever else. But I just thought that was crazy that with those crazy performances, I lost to. I lost. Well, you can't really beat someone if they score the most points in the league. Obviously, if you're not that person, but I lost, and definitely some zeros kind of happened, but definitely some underperforming people
in our league. How about the dude that auto drafted my cousin?
Yeah.
I think he scored the most. Or no, you said the dude you played, but I think he scored the second most. I think I was third. Yeah. So just by auto drafting, he got a decent team, and Breece Hall went crazy, and he had Breece just revving it up.
Which once again reiterates my idea of do not panic. Because you can't. Like,
there's going to be in your other. I mean, you don't have any other leagues, but I got 3 of them. By the way, your league is the only league I won. I lost my other 3.
Wow!
I lost all of them. Like, I had a chance to lose. I mean, I had a chance to win one last night because I was down by, I want to say, like 30 points, and I had Josh Allen, James Cook, and Gabe Davis. And I'm like, all he has is Tyler Bass. I'm thinking that this is a cakewalk. Josh Allen threw like fucking 900 interceptions, fumbled the ball. Gabe Davis had 2 catches.
Yeah,
and Cook didn't touch the end zone, so I lost. I'm like, God damn, yo.
I saw someone in this league. Someone in this league. I forget what the matchup was, but he had Alan Lazard, and his opponent had Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, damn, you're going to get your ass beat. That did not happen. Alan Lazard had to literally show up to the game, and he won. And it's crazy because Aaron ended up with negative points.
Those other leagues, Drake London, I bet you, and I'm gonna come back on here on Saturday or when I bet you I'd guarantee you have a story of somebody putting him out on the wire, and I'm gonna say thank you very much.
Yeah, because it's one of those things you want to sit and watch, and that's pretty much the biggest reason I didn't pick up Tutu, because I'm like, okay, so is there a universe where he is the number 1 or the number 2 with Cooper being out? Doubtful, but you have no idea. So I drafted who I drafted. Now I definitely have a few dart throws that I, realistically I could have dropped Fournette, but I'm like, dude, week 1, I'll probably drop him week 4 if he doesn't get signed at that point, because then you're just rock. You're just, I mean, if there's something to drop him for.
That's another reason. I mean, in my other leagues, I got Kareem Hunt laying in wait, and I got Fournette laying in wait too. And it's like, what happened to J.K. Dobbins? I'm thinking that they would sign, but they brought Melvin Gordon up from the practice squad, and I'm like, is he worth an ad or he's not? Or I don't know.
That backfield feels like Philly's backfield. It's like, ugh, whatever. Whoever the dog is that week.
I think the biggest benefactor in that backfield, or the biggest familiarity that Baltimore has. Don't fall in. That's the overreaction. Somebody's gonna go out there and grab the Justice Hill dude. He's a small back. He scored 2 touchdowns, but he's not gonna be the dude. It's gonna be Gus. And your son already has him. So there's one popular waiver wire ad that's not available in our league. So
and realistically, Mark Andrews should be back this week. So that who are you telling?
That they're likely bullshit 1.1.4, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, and what it's annoying, but I think that with Andrews being back or coming back, that severely hampers their running game because you don't need it at that point. Like, because Andrews is his dude in the red zone.
True.
You know, I don't see them needing to pound the rock.
Well, they complement each other because as soon as you start backing up and trying to cover Andrews, then it softens up the run and they can run a little bit better. You know, like people think that you get a solid running game and you're good. No, you need a passing game to help out the running game to push people back. That's why, you know, Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis, if it's just him and a quarterback that can't pass, he's not getting anywhere because all you do is stack the box and you make sure that they don't beat you. But if you have a threat of a passing game, you have to back up.
Speaking of Indy, Richard, that Trent or not, whatever the fuck his name is, that Richardson fella didn't look bad.
No, he surprised me. Yeah,
because it's one of those like, oh boy, and it's interesting because CJ Stroud
truly, when they drafted him like 4th overall, I was like, y'all fucking took a chance on a quarterback that only had like 7 games of starter at Florida, and y'all made him y'all franchise. But I guess, man, it doesn't matter what you do in college. It's like if they see that you got the intangibles and the winning attitude, because, you know, before they draft these players, they bring them in for interviews and they do the Wonderlic tests on them and all of that. Yeah. And if they pass all like bing, 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 remember the bing, bing, bing test, I guess you're willing to put the franchise on it. And
another little thing that I noticed here about the Bills game, because they just fed the rock to Diggs a ton. And Gabe didn't get any love and yada, yada. But you know what happened? Josh Allen threw a bunch of picks and they lost. So people that are like...
And they still was in the game at the end. All they had to do was stop that last play. I mean, like... So that tells you how hampered New York's offense is going to be, that Josh Allen threw fucking 900 interceptions and they were still in the game.
And I will say, yes, the Bills played against, you know, stupidly tough defense. I get that. I definitely will say... I definitely
see him taking that many risks like he did. I mean, he sometimes threw it up into triple coverage.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think some of that has to do too with Diggs bitching all off season. Here's the rock. Here's the rock. I want the rock. It's like, okay, here's the rock.
Diggs was bitching because DeAndre Hopkins was floating out there, and Diggs knows that during the regular season he's a lock. He's fine, but when it comes playoff time, and those defensive coordinators start double, triple teaming you, you need somebody else to take that pressure off of you.
And that's supposed to be Gabe. Like that's the kick in the pants. Because
Gabe is just a deep trick pony. That's all he is. Dude, that didn't sound right. A deep trick pony, but that's all he can do.
It almost sounded like you said a deep dick pony. I'm like, and I just kind of rolled with it. I'm like, all right, I guess.
Oh, no, it's just Gabe. I don't know. He just don't. I don't know if he got to work on his route running, his like intermediate route running, because Gabe is that dude that's way down the field, but that little quick little 5-yard slant, he's not there for those.
That's what I'm saying. Put him in the fucking slot and get me some points, you cunt.
Yeah. Another thing about last night's game, they kept going to some dude named Deontay Hardy yesterday. I was like,
yeah,
who the fuck is this dude?
Oh, I remember hearing his name a bunch last year.
Oh. I was like, who is this dude? But then when I checked the stats, because I was thinking, like, is that worth it? Especially in your league. I mean, I heard his name a whole bunch, but he only had like
Yeah, but you know what? There's also going to be people
30
that are
yards
going
or something. Huh?
there's going to be people running out to go get the Kukabadop from whatever
Who
the
that?
fuck.
The Rams, the
That
Poocha Nucha,
yeah,
Puka
the
Nuka.
Punta Kunka. I don't know. And it's like, dude, go ahead. Please jump on that grenade. Because that's the thing. That's the overreaction. Because you have the overreaction of, oh my God, my players didn't play well. And then you have the overreaction of, see, Josh Kelly, RB1, fucking bet. It's like, what?
You know, I mentioned to you is what if you got a Tutu Atwell, my Tutu Atwell through text, I mentioned to you Kendrick Bourne. Remember, I was like, yeah, he was like the Parker thing, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, the other person they got out there is Kendrick Bourne.
He started for me for a few weeks last year.
Last year.
It's just because, yeah,
Did he ever
was
get
on,
you a zero?
No, he was on a heater. He was. I caught him right in the middle of his kind of heat. I was like, all right, I'll.
He was like, okay,
Let's. Yeah, I mean, I definitely pulled the trigger earlier than I normally would, but I'm like, okay, I mean, there's not much else out there. They gotta chuck it to somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just that week one stuff. I mean, you had the people that you kind of figured were gonna do stuff like C-Mac. Everyone knew he was gonna get his. What was Henry's stat line? Was it any good, or I think it was kind of like, okay.
Who? Derrick
Henry? Yeah,
it was mediocre. It was like 14 points. Like, Derrick Henry's catching the ball a little bit more, so which is encouraging.
Yeah.
But
Eckler had a good game.
He didn't do anything. He didn't score a touchdown. I think he had like 68 yards rushing and maybe like 3 catches or something. It was like 14 points in the other league I play in, and it was serviceable, but it wasn't enough.
Wasn't what you expected, yeah.
Yeah, like one league I played in, I played the dude that scored the most. Like I had like 100 points. This motherfucker had like $180. And the rest of the league was averaging like 140. Like I had the dude that had like fucking Brandon Ayuk, Aaron Jones. I mean, he had those motherfuckers that went off, all of them. Like, I was just like, damn, I got slaughterhouse. So I like that was over early. I mean, like, I'd rather to just be, I ain't gonna say I'd rather be out of it early, but I'd rather, like, if I know no matter what I did, and I didn't lose because of a stupid decision I didn't fucking pull the trigger on, I'd rather just get blown out. So I knew that game was over, like, by, like, after the 1 o'clock games was over, I didn't even bother with the 4 o'clocks because that game was over. I was like, this one's over. So, but then the other game in Andrew's league, I kind of knew that one was over too, because once again, I think in that league I was playing Brandon Ayuk and all. I only had hope in your league. In the other league where I had Josh Allen, James Cook, Gabe Davis, I had them going, and I had Brandon Ayuk. So I thought I had a shot, and then last night's game just shut the fucking door on me. So like, damn.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if Daniel Jones actually played football, you may have been.
I might have lost that one. I would have went an 0 for 4. Yeah, if Daniel Jones showed up, and if it wasn't raining, that's another thing that people were overreacting to. A lot of games was decided because of the weather and the elements. That Cincinnati game was tons of rain. That Philadelphia game against the Patriots, full of rain. That Dallas Cowboys Giants game, full of rain. Your son going into that Sunday night game had Daniel Jones, Michael Gallup, and
Kincaid.
No, he had Kincaid last night, but then he had another Dallas receiver, Cooks, Brandon Cooks.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was a lock to beat me. I was like, I'm gonna really go 0 for 4 my first week. And when Daniel Jones was Daniel shit bag, he secured my win. And all Dallas did, the only way Dallas scored was defense and special teams. So they wasn't really like putting up anything. The only one that scored on Dallas was, I think, Pollard. I think he had 1 or 2 touchdowns. The receivers didn't get off. CeeDee Lamb got off a little bit. my quarterbacks, like in my league that just got the door slammed.
Yeah,
I had
You
Josh
had
Allen
Dak
and Dak
yeah,
Prescott, and these motherfuckers scored below 10 points, both of them. I'm like, when is that going to ever happen again? Like,
yeah, it's. I think when people, I almost feel like they should do waivers on Wednesday so people have a day to like emotionally be okay. Because I feel like you do it right after the day.
It's almost like right after the Monday night game, you have to hurry up and put your shit in, and you make a rash decision.
Right, because then on Tuesday you then get the message saying, "Oh, you got a bad beat, you lost."
Yeah. Don't Yahoo be shitting on you with they with they messages? If they learn how to play well enough, they would learn to put in the right people. I'd be like, God damn, Yahoo, you're like a dirty collections letter. Fuck.
Yeah, that's kind of how that goes.
Yahoo fucking, you're already feeling shitty. Yahoo tells you to put your head right under their ass so they can shit right on top of you. You be like, God damn.
And then you get that, then you're like, man, I gotta fucking. Then you just
I gotta do something. So you think you gotta make wholesale changes or something?
Right. I gotta make it up to Papa Yahoo.
And Papa Yahoo, like, come sit on Yahoo's lap. Papa Yahoo's lap.
I don't want to.
He said, I gotta make it up to Papa Yahoo.
Because it's and plus on top of that, like, don't the usually like the practice reports and the injury reports usually come out on Wednesdays, right? That's kind of like the standard MO. So,
but the Wednesday report, a lot of people fall for that and they go crazy and they do this. Like, I don't pay attention to no practice report until Friday. Friday is like the most impactful practice report, and then I look for the sleeper little notification Saturday night that begin at like 10, like you said, 10, 11, 12, and I kind of go from there, and then I wake up and I look and I see who's where. And
well, you know what, to add to that though, I mean, don't hear what he's not saying here. Definitely pay attention to those reports though, because there are things that will come out that are like devastating. You know, like, hey, like if Wednesday came out and it said Austin Eckler is
taking a maintenance day or something. No.
Well, not even that. I can't think it. Not questionable, but God, what's the other one? I can't think. Doubtful. There it is. I not know the word doubtful. Is doubtful. I'm probably going to start to look to pivot. You know, I'm not going to say
doubtful is a bad word. Like, remember it used to be probable.
Yeah, probably.
Then it was questionable, and then it was doubtful. They got rid of probable, so now it's either just questionable, which could mean fucking it's a 50 coin flip. And doubtful is most likely fuck no. And when you hear doubtful, I can't recall too many players that went from a doubtful tag in 1 week and somehow played that Sunday.
Unless we're talking about later in the season and you're making a playoff push and you're like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but let's see what we can do. You're not going to do that week 2. If motherfucker comes up doubtful, you're doubtfully doing any laundry. You know what? You're doubtfully getting any laundry for that game. You just come here in your jeans and look pretty. There you go.
It's an instant pivot.
Yeah.
As soon as you see that D, I'd be mad. Like, there's been times throughout the season.
Just how I live my life. As soon as you see that D, you run. If someone's coming at you with a D, you better fucking run.
I'd be mad as hell when you are pressed for spots and the buys come and you don't have a lot of slots and you got that IR spot and Yahoo holds that D all week. It's like if you don't change that to an O or out so I can put them on IR and go get
what's
somebody
funny?
else.
I was hoping because they said Andrews is out, but they kept his ass questionable.
They kept his ass at D all the way up until fucking damn near kickoff. You like,
I'm just like, let me put him in there because that would have been my 2-2 pivot. I would have been like, I'll just put him on the bench and see what's good. I wouldn't have played him. I would have been sick that he but with him being on with him being on the bench would have meant he wouldn't have gone off against me. So I still would have lost probably. But
because you lost by like what, 50 something?
Yeah, it was shitty. But you know, that's what happens.
I looked at you got a couple zeros. What, it was London?
Basically,
or who else?
London likely got me $1.50. Charbonnet got me like
Charbonnet. I don't know why y'all fell for that, all that preseason hype on that dude. I'm not a big rookie. I'm not a big rookie believer. I just don't believe in rookies that much.
It was more of a I don't believe in Kenneth Walker staying healthy for more than 12 minutes. So very talented back. I definitely thought they'd play a little bit, with him, but I'm still okay with starting him. But the Quentin Johnston dude up in the Chargers got me like 4 points. So yeah, I especially where points are stupid in my league. It's like getting that low.
You take the blame, like you don't think it's like the karma god. Like you say, hey, I made some silly ass decisions, or well, I mean, starting Drake London is not a silly decision. I mean, no one expects that to be a zero. I mean,
looking at what I had, I'm going to do the off-camera thing here. Hold on.
Okay.
Because I looked at my bench, but I didn't. Oh, fuck you, Yahoo! Get out of here, mocking me and shit, you cocksucker. So, yeah, Charbonnet got me literally a point. Johnson got me 3. Likely got me 1. But looking at my bench, I had Rondell Moore that got me 8. And Alec Pierce got me 2 points. So
even if any decisions you made,
yeah. I mean,
outside.
Derek Carr got me 44, so that would have helped if I played him over Geno. But it's just what if maybe. I mean, I know we always used to have a thing where our biggest thing was don't lose with people on your bench. But,
on your bench, yeah.
But I'm looking at
like if we were playing best ball and you had the best lineup available,
right.
You probably still wouldn't have had the amount of points that.
Right, because even my opponent, he had Justin Fields and Tyler Lawrence. They didn't really do much, right?
Yeah.
What hurt me was Pittman putting up 25. Sutton 14, Nico Collins 15. He had Diggs, he put up 32.
Damn.
Tutu put up 28. Like generally speaking,
like you said, he started Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's gotta be the biggest slap in the fucking face.
Yeah, not great. But the thing is, his team, for the most part, showed up for him.
But on any given Sunday, his team doesn't sound very strong. It just seems like he got lucky. It was a lucky week, So,
yeah. I mean, if
y'all played each other 9 times out of 10, you would probably win 8 out of those 10 times.
I would feel comfortable with that. I mean, if I look at my team right now, I have 14. There's 14 players that start. All right, so I'm gonna count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of my 14 players did not hit the projected points. You're not going to win with that. Now, I know the projected points don't mean everything, but when whatever with 75, 80% of your roster doesn't do what they're supposed to do, good fucking luck. Now, obviously, that doesn't help when you're facing the player, the team that scored the most points in the league.
Yeah.
But
with my team, I felt like I was going to kick myself in the ass if I lost that game because I left a ton of points on the bench.
Yeah.
I had Rashid Shaheed, who I loved last year, but I just didn't have enough confidence. So I trotted out Taysom Hill. This motherfucker got like 0.4 or some shit.
It makes me so happy. So happy.
Shaheed got like 25 points. So That was a terrible decision. Antonio Gibson,
Mhm.
motherfucker, didn't even get 1 point. You won the Brian Robinson sweepstakes this week, and Antonio Gibson didn't get me shit, and I put him out there over.
But you know what? We
Newly
both
acquired from you, Robert Woods, who only got 13, but that was serviceable. You like in your league, it's so many players. If you can get a player that gets you double digits, 10 or more, that's a win in my book for any.
and it's crazy because
except for the quarterback. I don't want the quarterback donation.
Fair.
But any player outside of the quarterback on your heavy loaded team, if you can contribute a solid 10 points, I will employ you. I really will.
And really, if you score anything below 5, because keep in mind, you get a point per first down, you get a point per reception, you get a point for 10 yards. That's
you get a point
right
for
there.
signing, for showing up and putting your name on the damn jersey.
Like,
that's why it's impossible to get zero.
Just think about that. If you catch a 10-yard pass for a first down, that's 3 points. So if you anything that's scored below 5 is an epic failure.
Drake London, I mean, you almost have to try to get a 0. Right. Like Drake London, and you said he played 90-something% of the snaps?
90% of snaps,
What was he doing?
It wasn't him. They threw 18. They threw 18
They had the B. John Robinson, and then the Tyler Algier dude scored 2 touchdowns. That's another overreaction. In these 10-team leagues, he's on the bench. Motherfuckers is going to go swoop him up like he's going to be the fucking next coming of the book.
Please do. Now, we're going to definitely preview next. Oh, by the way, so everyone knows here, because I don't want to forget about it. So you can do the shout out now too, and on Friday, but Jermaine has a little get together going on.
Yeah.
So
my daughter Shanice Poole, she is turning 24 on Saturday, and I didn't even realize that it was the 16th. I mean, I think of course it has something to do with I no longer am living, with the family.
Dude, don't feel bad. I'm just happy. I'm so happy that William's birthday is on Tiffany's calendar, because I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I'm usually pretty good with birthdays, and I just didn't realize that it was this Saturday. I know the date, but I was just like, oh shit! Like, she had sent me like my ex had sent me a text and was just like, "Is you coming with us on Saturday?" And I was just like, "The fuck happens on Saturday? I gotta record." She was just like, "It's your daughter's birthday," and I was like, oh shit. And I knew I had my payday circle. I knew I get paid on the 15th. But I wasn't paying attention to the very next day, which is the 16th. So yeah, I was just like, oh shit. Okay, so we'll be recording Friday.
Yep.
To we'll get to put the finishing touches on the league. Very little information comes out Saturday. I mean, outside of those sleeper notifications.
Right, like, and those
and those are you are not privy to Sleeper. That's your problem. Like, you have to sign up for an app called Sleeper app, and it kind of gives you notifications, and it tells you shit. Yeah, and if it wasn't for Rich, I really appreciate you for putting me onto it, because it seems like soon as this shit happens on Sleeper, it's ahead of Yahoo. It's almost like does the same people write for Yahoo that write for Sleeper? Because sometimes it's the same exact words, same story. Like, I'm like, oh,
it's the conspiracies. Remember, don't worry about it. It's conspiracies. it's the mole people.
But yeah, Sleeper is awesome.
Yeah. It is a great thing, because it keeps you. It gives you an advantage in your league.
And sometimes, I mean, they do go overboard and they tell you stupid shit. They're like, Aaron Rodgers just got out the car because he ordered a Big Mac, and you'd be like, I don't give a fuck. So sometimes they do tell you some unnecessary information.
I would like a Big Mac.
But I don't need to hear Aaron Rodgers ordering a Big Mac, but
some of your time. You will see a lot
of that shit during the preseason. You're like, I don't give a fuck. But
No.
a lot of during the season, for fantasy purposes, it is extremely helpful.
I put my kid on it too, so he's in the loop as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I think all in all, interesting week one. Nothing that really is like, oh my god, let's panic button or anything like that. A lot of injuries. I think that two of the few big takeaways are, one, preseason is super important because you get to condition yourself.
Mhm.
The second thing is don't panic. The third thing is still don't fucking panic because
Yeah.
it sounds
And
you're
the
gonna
fourth
look at your
thing for me
roster.
is sit back and watch you don't panic, but sit back and watch the panic and reap the benefit from it.
Mhm.
So I would say don't claim anybody off waivers. Don't burn your waiver wire priority. Wake up tomorrow morning and go shopping.
Yeah.
Go look for the names. Go
legitimately
look
what
for
it's
some
gonna
of the
be.
people that you probably were drafting and you was like, fuck, he took them right before I did because they gave up on him. And if you still have that belief in him when you were getting ready to draft him, go ahead and pluck him off the shelf for free.
And remember this here too. More often than not, the people that are being dropped are going to be more valuable than the ones who are getting picked up, especially in the early weeks, because people are
because the
going to
mold
lose their
people
mind.
don't know. We talked about it on the last show. The NFL happens in quarters, and this is the first quarter. And sometimes in an NFL game, when things ain't going right, they trap the game plan and they start doing dumb shit, and then they get beat even worse.
Right.
Sometimes when the running game ain't working, you got to stick with it, and then eventually them holes will open the fuck up in the third and the fourth quarter. So stand back, be patient.
Remember, you
Watch the
drafted
fire
this team
sale that happens in front of you tomorrow, and go shopping, load up, and push into the week 2. One other last thing I do want to bring up is, we talked about hot waivers. Who are the hot names on the waiver wire that if anybody is out there, let's suppose I do have a team that I'm not panicking on. I really seriously feel like I need to get a running back or a receiver or a tight end that's out there that may be out on the waiver wire. What would be a good? Let's
see. It's hard because I'm only in one league.
Not necessarily in our league, but that's going to be a hot waiver. Name me 3 waiver picks that could be potentially out there on people's waiver wires that you feel wouldn't be a very bad decision. That's going to get some burn.
The way they're talking, I know I kind of clowned it, but I think Josh Kelly is definitely worth a look. I mean, he always seems to be in the backfield. I mean, even last year, he was getting not as many carries as obviously he got now, but if Eckler is actually hurt, and it's not
from a handcuff standpoint, but are you going to burn a waiver to do it?
No, because I mean, let's say it's not that bad and it's a weak injury, like literally and figuratively a weak injury. It's like,
okay, right. let's picture this scenario. Let's suppose somebody goes out and goes and gets him. Yeah. And then they realize Eckler plays, and then they drop him next week. Are you going to pick him up just as insurance after that?
No, because Eckler doesn't really get hurt. Like, it's a pretty durable back. Like, you don't. I mean, yeah, he'll get banged up. He is a smaller.
I was about to say he does get nicked up. I mean, he'll miss a game here and there, or at least parts of a game here and there. So, because he's a smaller back.
Right,
but he's so productive when he's in there. It's ridiculous.
And I don't want to be in a situation where, like, I'm not ever going to start him unless he's physically actually out.
Yeah.
And like you said, he doesn't really miss games. He'll maybe miss parts of games, but how do you predict that? Like, I'm not going to do a dual back. Let me start Eckler and Kelly, So I'll let somebody else kind of fall in that grenade, have fun with it. But in general, I would say it's not a terrible it's not a terrible read. Like, give it a shot. It's hard for me because I only have the one league, so I can't see other waivers.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you would kind of need to take the reins on the regular waivers, and I can kind of look at what we have on the waivers because there's not really much.
Yeah.
But
your unique league is very unique. So I want to say the 3 hottest names out there right now in other leagues, because I'm in 3 other 10-team leagues. So there's more players on a 10 team.
A lot more, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more quality players that are out there. I want to say the number 1 pick that might be out there is because of J.K. Dobbins' situation is Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards or Justice Hill, whoever you think is going to get the care. Or
now,
even
you say those are worth it, or the big names.
You got to make a choice out of those 3.
Don't do it, boys. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
Another name that is ridiculous, Puka Nuka. For some reason,
don't do that.
He's at the top of the transaction board. I mean, like when you look at that transaction board, the transaction trends, it tells you but everybody's picking up.
Right.
And
there was a lot of people that really liked Kool-Aid and got into a cult. So just because that's the thing, there's more stupid players than there are smart players. That's kind of how I look at that.
I'm not telling you that these are the people that I'm looking at. I'm just telling you.
I know, but isn't this
these
segment
are the people that are at the top of the transaction board? Now, another thing that's at the top of the transaction board that I didn't even realize in some leagues that I got the Steelers defense, but the Jet defense is out there. So definitely
don't talk to me about defense. Fuck out of my face.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't give a
no,
shit.
That's
but I'm just saying.
terrible.
I mean, the Steelers defense. I'm definitely looking to swap them out with the Jets defense after watching.
Oh yeah, you should have got the Jets from the get go. I mean, honestly, you did that. You did that
it was
stupid.
It was like shit. I thought the Steelers defense. I got fooled by the preseason. The Steelers in the preseason.
Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why. I was clowning people on Twitter. Like,
I really did.
Oh man, no.
I'm guilty of that. And I get it. I know enough about the NFL and have enough experience to not let the preseason get to me. But for some reason, the Steelers definitely had me fooled. They had me fooled.
Well, because it looked better than it actually was. Because you had the ones going against 2s, and then you had the 2s going against 3s, and it's like,
I just thought it was so much talent all the way around. And Omar Khan has stacked this roster, and I didn't see shit on Sunday. So
yeah. Well, when the ones went against 1s are like, oh, mistakes were made.
Yeah.
So you mean because it's like playing it's like playing Madden against someone that is always going to be below your level until you play someone with your same skill set, and you're like, oh, I was not as good as I thought I was. And I will tell you this, and
how terrible Kenny Pickett looked. I mean,
I absolutely can. I told you,
you've been on this train, and you've been saying that you just don't believe in him. And
fucking terrible.
I he looked fucking horrible.
Yeah. And now that Deontay's gone, good luck. Throw it to George Pickens. Go ahead, have fun. Good luck throwing your wobbly ass.
They're just going to triple cover George Pickens and ask you to beat somebody else. Like, beat me with somebody else.
Did you see AB? Did you see AB wants to come back? Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. What? He's on Twitter yapping about like, heard y'all need a receiver. It's like, yeah, we do. Do you know? That's when you're like, do you know anybody?
No, I didn't hear that one. I heard rumors about the Jets supposedly reaching out to Tom Brady. I'm like, what? Yeah. Okay. But those are 2 names. Puka Nuka, the dang on 1 to 3 Baltimore back.
Is this segment names that you would pick that you're saying like, hey, that you want to go for? Because
no, I'm just telling you these are the hot waiver wire picks that people might be dealing with. They're in other leagues.
So who do you think people should grab then? Like, I mean, nobody cares, but you can see the transaction stuff. That's fine. But let's talk about who you would actually go for, because that's going to be the helpful thing. Like, they can read the transaction.
I actually put in a waiver claim on Andrew's league for Gus Edwards.
Why? What are you doing?
Because he has the most familiarity with that backfield, and I have my backs are James Conner
Ugh.
and who is my other back?
Damn, did you forget
I
the
just
draft
know
running
my
backs?
third back is Josh. I mean, my third back is Antonio Gibson, and I'm not on a panic, but I'm on a tilt, and I need another back. And no, I had Deion Jackson from the Colts, and
Oh
he
God.
was fucking
Did you
horrible.
did you forget the draft running backs? Did you know that's a thing you can do still?
No, I think I got Chubb. I think I got Chubb. Yeah, I got Chubb.
Don't ever say that sentence to me. Ever. That was weird.
What?
I got Chubb. Fuck? Why?
I didn't even know where he was going with that. But yeah, I'm looking. I need another back, and I'm willing to take a chance on Gus Edwards. I mean, he's the only one that's sitting out there. Other than that, there's some tight ends that's out there, but I don't need a tight end. No major receivers out there.
Yeah, I mean when I look at what we got on the waiver here, I'm just gonna see kind of what what's kind of looking. I mean, not anything in really in wide receivers or quarterbacks, but I mean they're. You know what I will say this. I will guarantee. Yeah, Kendrick Bourne's on the waiver. He'll go. Braxton Berrios, someone's absolutely going to pick him up because he had a good first week. I guarantee it.
Braxton Berrios.
Yeah.
No.
Nakuaka Punta. He's there. I mean, that's about it for there. I mean, obviously, running backs is a lot thinner in this league. You got Zach
Oh
Moss.
no, my running backs are Aaron Jones, who did me well, and then James Conner, and then I have Antonio Gibson. I got Elijah Mitchell waiting on McCaffrey to go down. And then I got Deion Jackson. I need another productive back. So that's why I am leaning towards going
I would
ahead
say
and grabbing
Josh
Gus
Kelly.
Edwards.
I'd say Josh Kelly is the only one in the running back room. Now, I do have somebody else I'm looking at, but I'm not going to say it over this thing because your simple ass will take him. So we're not doing that. We look at tight ends. Who fucking cares? Keep it moving. That's kind of that. But yeah, I mean, it's much. This league is much different than a conventional league because you're looking at options that are not going to be. These are like the bottom of your.
I'm just saying, in your league, I'm not looking to make any moves unless there is someone out there that's just spectacular. Because if you look at my roster, I feel pretty stacked. I feel good. So I'm just going to leave your league. I'm just going to leave it alone.
I felt, and that's the thing.
Change, you don't change success, so I'm good.
I mean, and it's actually. That is something I want to kind of end on here because I think a lot of people could benefit from this. I mean, look at your roster right now. I'll look at what are you doing with your hand? I don't fucking know.
Oh, shit. I forgot I'm on camera. No, I'm filling up my salt shaker because I got one salt shaker at work and then I got one at home and I ran out of salt shaker at work. So I need to throw some salt in this.
Because it just looked all kind of weird. I'm just
like jacking off or some shit.
Right. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting there like, God damn, he got a donkey dick. Shit. His hand's up by his cheek and shit. I'm like, oh, man. All right.
I'm a nut all over my own chin.
Yeah. Anyway, let's end this on a better note than that.
So you saying look at my squad and do what?
Look at your rosters. Everybody, just look at the rosters and feel good about your roster because you drafted this roster. Now
you can't give up on them after 1 week. You just can't.
But people are going to.
Oh, well, we started off with overreactions and underreactions, so it's gonna happen. But it's just I myself, anybody that I'm giving the advice to. Give it till week 4. I'm not telling you to hold on to dead weight just to hold on to it, but give them a couple chances. Give them 2 or 3 times. I mean, how many times have maybe you tried to speak to a female or holler at somebody, or how many times have you had a go at something and you had one shot at it and you fucked up horribly? And
Monster.
then once you get your second or third shot, you did okay. So give it a second or even a third shot before you just totally abandon ship. That's my advice on this fantasy shit. You really got to give it some time. Let the shit solidify. Let it mold in, and then by week 4 or even 3, you should know a little bit more.
Yeah, no one you can cut bait. There is no reason to jump into the whole panic button. I mean, I look at my roster, and yeah, I had some underperforming players, but one of my underperforming players were AJ Brown. Do you think I'm going to cut bait with AJ Brown?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. I ain't gonna say I fell for that, but I had the letdown of AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts because I chose it as a stack of Jalen Hurts to AJ Brown stack.
That's what I wanted.
And that didn't perform this weekend. Do you think I give a fuck? Because it's gonna perform throughout the season. So I feel good.
So I guess the best advice from both of us is look at your rosters, feel good about your rosters, realize it's week 1. You were 0-1. You could literally win out the look, not being a dick, but what was your record last year, Jermaine? What was your record?
12-1.
Oh, and what happened in the first round of the playoffs?
Actually, second round because I got the bye. And I didn't have to play the first week.
What happened?
I lost.
Your technical first round. So
yeah,
the shit don't mean shit.
Yeah. So if you get in the back door, like the person that beat me and good old Rich here, they got into the back door. I think they were like 7-6. Barely got in.
They got in on some wild card bullshit. Like 3 teams had to win and lose. It was fucking nuts. I'm just like.
Yeah,
because he was the bottom dweller.
His record was tied with like 4 other people, but he won because he had more points or something somehow.
And he was a bottom dweller. He was a basement dweller all year, and then he just won his like last 4 games or some shit, and just like skyrocketed. So, do you think the Bengals are really right now tripping that they lost to the Browns? I mean, they're probably not great. They're not happy about it, but do you think they're like, oh, well, there goes our Super Bowl?
Yeah, there's disease, and we just paid Joe Burrow all that money. It's over. No.
I mean, the Jets feel that way right now, but, you know.
Yeah.
Steelers should definitely feel that way because, sweet Christ, that's not an overreaction. That's just watching football and knowing what the fuck you're seeing and like, okay, great. So it's going to be a lot of red zone. So, all right, boys and girls. So thanks for showing up. We'll see you Friday. So we'll early thing. So, you know, this will get uploaded.
So what we're gonna come with you on Friday is we're gonna have a full abreast of the injury report, and we're gonna probably have some stories. I'm gonna have more stories than Rich because he's only in one league, but I'm in multiple, and I'm gonna have some stories about the waivers that people that panicked and what happened. And just wait till I run off some of these names. I would be shocked. I might not have any names. People might actually be standing pat, but I doubt it.
That never happens.
Yeah. So I'll be sharing the names in the different leagues of the crazy shit that happened and the fire sale and the Grove City outlet I went to and picked up full of players.
Yeah, and I'm probably not going to do anything. I may, pick something up, afterwards, but I'm not burning any waiver on it. There's nobody out there that's like, oh, I gotta get you.
Definitely ain't burning no waivers. And with my team in your league, I think I don't want to lose anybody, so I'm not really.
You have no reason to.
Yeah, I'm not super interested in anyone out there really. So
because literally at this point, everyone is one game out from being back in it. So it's like, but yeah, that'll be fun, and we'll preview the next week, and that's the plan here, Stan.
Well, we smoked our crack. We got high this time.
Oh. I was
we got our NFL crack, and
and it feels good because
the second week.
It feels good because it's in 2 days.
And that's the beautiful, like, flowing thing. Like, you go through the emotional roller coaster of the fantasy league, and you're like, okay.
Yep. So we got AJ. We both got AJ Brown to look forward to on Thursday.
You got it there. Look, I
Oh
have
yeah, you
AJ.
got Madison too, right?
Oh yeah, we should probably hit on that real quick because we didn't even like preview that at all.
Yeah. The Thursday game. Biggest fantasy players on Minnesota's team, of course, Jefferson. You cover Philly, I cover Minnesota. Jefferson, Jordan Addison looked pretty good. He caught a touchdown. Madison looks decent. TJ Hawkinson, he did okay. I have him in your league. He did average, nothing special. KJ Osborne surprisingly didn't really do too much.
Well, with Addison in there, that was supposed to be KJ's spot.
KJ Osborne, yeah.
Addison's like, hold my balls.
So that covers pretty much Minnesota. Hawkinson,
yeah,
Addison, Jefferson. Unless you got Kirk Cousins as a quarterback, that's about it.
I end up with Kirk at some point in the league. Every single year I've played, I swear to God, he ends up on my league somewhere, somehow. I don't get it. So Philly, I mean, obviously Jalen, yeah, we know that. AJ, yeah. I mean, start up your receivers. Him, Devontae. You know,
Goddard, who surprisingly had a big fat fucking 0 this year.
Yeah, we forgot to mention Goddard with 0. Do not stress out about that. He will get his money.
Don't sit there and bench him or do something stupid.
Yeah, there's no tight ends out there. If you have one of the bigger names, start him. What are you risking? I mean, you're gonna start Hunter Henry? Get the fuck out of here. Gainwell is hurt. They're going to limit his reps in practice, which is nice.
Why did they give him so much burn? It was like, where's DeAndre Swift and Rashard Penny? Like they just went Gainwell heavy. I was
they scratched fucking Penny for the game before game time. Like it was like 5
minutes. Oh, so he was inactive.
He was inactive.
Damn.
But yeah, Gainwell, he's hurt, and the reason I know that and care about that is because I play against him, which I don't really care about that. It's just like, well, now he has to figure out something else. Yeah, I mean, you got the studs. It should be a high-flying, high-scoring game. That's my hope for a multitude of reasons. But you know, I mean, I got a bunch of skin in that. I got AJ, I got Madison, and I got Addison. So I got skin. So,
I just don't. I mean, I remember we talked about the Thursday games not being up to snuff. I don't think that's going to happen with this one because you have a pissed off Minnesota team that lost, and then did Minnesota lose? Yeah, they lost, right?
I don't remember who they even play. Jesus,
I know. Goddamn.
Hold on, let's see here.
They lost. Yeah, because Jefferson was on the sideline looking stupid.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they lost to fucking Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they're pissed off and they're gonna want to show. And then the Eagles, even though they did beat the Patriots, they played like jack shit, and they want to fucking show off. So I think this is going to be a robust Thursday night coming up.
Yeah, and I should be happy. It's my goal.
Yep. That's it, kiddo.
Yep. So, we will see you Friday, like we said, and with all the preview stuff and all that. So, I am Rich.
This is Jermaine, and you just enjoyed.
You got. We need to have a fun tagline for football. Yeah, you know what? Here's what I want. I want people in the comments to give us a good tag, like a good outro line. That's what we want. There we go. Be a part of the show there.
Yeah. Give us a tagline, outro, intro, either or.
No, we already got the intro. We can't shit on the kiddo here, but yeah. Definitely the outro.
I think in the comments, another thing, I watch fantasy shows and, we just covered, overreactions, underreactions, give us something that maybe you want us to cover as far as, fantasy-wise that you would like to hear. I think we covered waivers. We covered a lot of stuff, so.
Yeah, give us, questions. We're not gurus or anything, but we definitely know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, Yeah,
Just
questions.
experience.
Yeah. And like I said, eventually I'd like to do like live shows on this. Like that would be, I think it'd be a kind of a cool thing. Maybe Sunday morning doing like a live show at 11 in the morning, something like that. Like, hey, get your questions in. We'll,
We'll tackle them.
yeah. Now I see what you did.
I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, that was a good pun right there. All right.
So we both had one. That's good. It's nice. All right. So I'm gonna go to sleep, I think.
Yeah. Seeing you yawn in a little bit. Good show.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you this little site here. Hold on. That's happening.
What, are they banging?
No. Like he's just fucking biting his back. Oh.
They look like the same exact.
They really do.
They do. All right. Catch you.
All right, man. Good deal. All right, toodles.
Yep.